Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Young and the Restless sees some new spoilers for next week, including Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson making possibly the biggest gamble of his life. Plus, Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, is scheming behind her wife's back with the last person you would expect. By the end of this week, we've got Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, pleading with Billy, trying to convince him to walk away from Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. No way does Sally want Billy to work with Kane and ruin everything they've been planning and working hard towards. But Billy doesn't want to play it safe. Now Sally is afraid they're going to lose everything. She's even more frantic because Billy told her that Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, pulled the funding for Abbott.com, the company that Sally was supposed to be running. Billy says that Kane is their only shot at success because Jack backed out, and with good reason. Sally thinks Kane is leading Billy off a cliff and taking Sally down with him. She understands that Billy is still upset that Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, sold Chancellor to Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, but Sally thinks they should be focusing on what they were building together and not revenge. But Billy Kane is the only way to get Chancellor back. He is obsessed. Billy insists that he and Kane both want the same thing, to take down Victor. Billy thinks Kane needs him to do it. Sally is upset because she gave up everything for Billy. She sacrificed her fashion career and put her reputation on the line. A lot of people warned her about him. Without Abbott.com, Sally has nothing, and she wants Billy to choose her over revenge on Victor and over Kane. Billy is insisting he actually doesn't need to use Kane's AI. He says he can threaten Victor to make him hand over Chancellor, or Billy will ruin Victor's company with Kane's AI software. So he's planning to do some light blackmailing rather than using this program. Billy is full of all this big talk, but what Sally sees is he is gambling with his life, with hers, and with both their futures. Of course, Billy's not going to listen to her. Sally basically tells Billy if he doesn't stop, they are over. In Young and the Restless spoilers for next week, Sally goes over to talk to Diane because she knows from Jack that her hubby took back the Abbott.com funding. Of course, Diane is worried, and she asks Sally if Billy is all right. Sally's upset, and she tells Diane, no, Billy is not all right. Sally tells Diane that Billy is about to make the biggest mistake of his life. As this week on Young and the Restless ended, we also saw Michael Baldwin, Christian Jules Leblanc, agreeing to work with Kane as his fixer, but insisted nobody can know. But of course, Victor already knows because Michael is planning to spy on Kane for Victor. Kane, as his first order of business, told Michael to go make amends and get close with Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford again. Michael turned around and reported that to Victor immediately. So Michael and Victor have decided that if Phyllis confirms to Michael that she's scheming with Kane, then they know they need to take action against the guy. Next week's Young and the Restless spoilers have Kane meeting with Billy to try and lock him into this risky plan. We will see Kane asking Billy how long he's dreamed about taking down Victor. Then we're going to see Kane telling Billy he just needs to say yes, and they will start dismantling Newman Enterprises. It looks like Billy is probably on board to get revenge on Victor. The question remains of whether Billy is going to work with Kane or try to work around Kane. Billy claimed to Sally again he doesn't have to use Kane's AI to get what he wants. Billy thinks he can just threaten Victor, and he'll give up Chancellor. But we all know that Billy is never going to threaten Victor out of anything, and that's going to leave him in a position where Billy is probably going to have to work with Kane. It looks like Billy is dangerously close to losing everything. He's already lost Abbott.com. His brother Jack is pretty much done with him. Right now, Billy is very, very close to pushing Sally away and losing her for good as well. In the end, Billy may have nobody left but Kane, and it's doubtful that Billy can actually trust Kane or vice versa. It looks like Billy is headed down a really risky road, and there may be no coming back from it. His mom Jill is in town soon. Maybe she can talk sense into him. Maybe not. In Genoa City, no secret stays buried for long, and when it comes to risky choices, few characters embody that word better than Billy Abbott. Add to that the mischievous, often underestimated Mariah Copeland, and what you get is a collision of schemes, gambles, and dangerous partnerships that could change the fabric of the Abbott and Newman empires forever. Billy has always been his own worst enemy. He's brilliant, passionate, and fearless, but equally reckless when temptation calls. Whether it's women, business deals, or literal high-stakes poker, Billy cannot resist the thrill of a gamble. For years, Jack and the rest of the Abbott family have tried to steer him toward stability, but Billy's craving for risk always drags him back into chaos. This time, though, Billy isn't just gambling in a casino or sneaking into underground poker games. He's wagering with the future of Chancellor Winters, placing bold bets on mergers, stock moves, and secret investments that no one else knows about. His hunger to outshine Devin, Lily, and even Jill makes him reckless. And as always, Billy thinks he's in control, until he realizes he's bet more than money. He's risking his family, his legacy, and perhaps his freedom. Mariah Copeland, once the town outcast and troublemaker, has matured since her days of con artistry and manipulations. She's settled into motherhood with Tessa and their daughter, Aria, and she's built a life of love and stability. But just because Mariah has grown doesn't mean she's lost her knack for scheming. When Mariah crosses paths with Billy's newest risky venture, she sees opportunity. She's protective of her family, yes, but she also has ambition. Mariah knows that in Genoa City, information is the real currency, and Billy's gambling has left behind a trail of whispers, debts, and vulnerabilities that she can use. Billy's gambling habits soon spiral into dangerous territory. He gets entangled with shadow investors, men and women who prefer to stay in the dark but wield enormous power. When he loses big, both in money and leverage, Billy realizes he's trapped. His enemies know his weaknesses, and one wrong move could expose him to Lily, Jill, and the board at Chancellor Winters. That's when Mariah makes her move. She uncovers Billy's risky dealings, and instead of exposing him outright, she offers a deal. She'll cover his tracks, spin the narrative, and help him maneuver through the fallout if he cuts her in on the action. It's a classic Mariah move, clever, pragmatic, and just risky enough to make her pulse race. Billy, desperate and out of options, agrees. What begins as a reluctant alliance soon morphs into a full-blown partnership. Victoria Newman, still cautious around Billy after years of failed reconciliations, smells trouble when rumors of his financial risks reach her ears. If Billy's downfall creates a vacuum at Chancellor Winters, Newman Enterprises could swoop in. Victoria sees this as both a business opportunity and a way to finally cut Billy off at the knees. Mariah, however, isn't about to let the Newmans steamroll her new plans. She starts using her insider knowledge, both of Newman and Abbott family secrets, to manipulate the chessboard. In true soap fashion, Mariah becomes the unlikely wild card who could turn Billy's downfall into a shocking power shift. While Billy and Mariah form their uneasy pact, Tessa senses danger. She notices Mariah's late-night calls, hushed conversations, and mounting stress. At first, Tessa assumes it's related to Aria's health or the pressures of parenting, but when she digs deeper, she realizes Mariah is caught in something far darker. Tessa's protective instincts go into overdrive. She fears Billy is dragging Mariah into a spiral she may never escape. This sets up a personal battle. Mariah insists she has everything under control, while Tessa warns that gambling and scheming in Genoa City never end well. Of course, Jill Abbott is never far from the action. When whispers of Billy's financial gambles reach her, she storms back into town determined to set things straight. Jill has always believed in Billy's potential, but she also knows his demons. She won't let him destroy Chancellor Winters, especially when Devin and Lily's futures are tied to it. Devin, for his part, sees Billy's recklessness as proof that he should have never trusted him with power in the first place. The tension between Devin and Billy threatens to explode into all-out war, especially once Devin realizes that Mariah has been manipulating the situation for her own gain.